damn, I gotta get all the way over there. But there's all these George Foreman girls in my way. Here goes nothing. What was the point of the flip? This stunt was brought to you by Eddie Doge. Leave your stunt suggestions in the comments below and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss next week's stunt. Here's a quick question. What do you think about when you hear the word TikToker? Some of you might think dumb or cringy, but what if I propose to you something else? TikToker, financial advisor. Sit on it. Let it marinate. At least this is the association Mr. Bryce Hall wants us to make now that he's launched a new podcast about finance of all things. That's right, the same Bryce Hall that pees on his fans and throws massive house parties during a pandemic also wants you to be financially stable. He's like the next Warren Buffett, if you really don't think about it at all. So I found this because my friend sent me an article called TikTok's Bryce Hall Launches Finance Podcast Capital University. I thought money was an object. Yeah, we figured he did. After going completely broke and getting hit with taxes, the social media star says his eyes were open to the importance of proper money management. Save your money. It can go. Hall, 21, says one of the biggest lessons he's learned, don't spend it all. So his advice so far, save your money. What a concept. Man, I wish my parents taught me that as a kid, that I can't spend money on whatever I want, when I want. It's bullshit. Leave it to a privileged TikToker to crack the code at 21 and decide it's worthy to start an entire podcast over. Alright, so today we're watching this train wreck of an interview that Bryce Hall did with Entertainment Tonight. You know, the most trusted source in finance news next to the Wall Street Journal and Investopedia. Because I see you doubting my boy Bryce Hall, the Bryce man, the Hall monitor, saying things like he never went to college or had a real job and what makes him qualified to do a finance podcast. I see you saying those things. I'm not disagreeing, but I see you saying them. But let's at least hear the man out. So let's just jump right into it.
But I do want to start with this new business venture. It's a new podcast. It's called Capital University, and it's all about money management. So I guess, first of all, why should we listen to you about money?
What if I just answered and said, because I have a lot of money? No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
No, I'm kidding. But I do have a fuck ton of money. Like a lot of money. If you guys couldn't already tell by his bedroom being the size of a literal single family home. What a terrible use of space too. He's got like nothing in there. He's got like a little TV tucked away in the corner, but besides that, there's just so much empty space. You see guys, when it comes to finances, I realized furniture, waste of money. Plus, you're gonna need all that room to film your TikToks so you can get the bag.
I'm probably one of the smarter people with my money in this industry. Granted, there are a lot of smart people with their money, but when it comes to investments, I feel like I have definitely the best connections.
Entertainment Tonight's editing is so funny in this interview, and I don't even think they realize it. Yeah, so I'm definitely one of the smarter people in the industry, especially when it comes to investments. I make sure to allocate my resources effectively and save as much money as possible.
What exactly inspired you to want to sort of teach other people about finances and money?
I feel like it's a more learning experience for influencers themselves. I feel like influencers should listen to the podcast and people who want to become influencers or want to invest their money, because it does give a...
Like, the editors definitely knew what they were doing, right? So what makes you qualified to teach us about finances and money? Okay, roll clip 2 of him dancing like a fucking idiot. It's like way to delegitimize everything he's currently saying. I think Bryce could literally be giving us the cure for cancer and none of us would be listening and just laughing at him.
What is the best thing that you feel like you've purchased over the past few months?
The best thing I've purchased? Probably my car.
Is it a Tesla? Did I make that up?
It's a Tesla. It's a Tesla.
Okay.
So it's not a depreciating asset.
Depreciating asset. That's a finance thing. You know what? Someone should get this guy a podcast.
I think the car was my most meaningful purchase because I never had a car. I had like a Jeep back in Maryland, but it wasn't mine. It was my mom's, and she just gave it to me because she got a new car.
So you did have a car, and you just kind of lied about that for no reason? I'm just a little old finance major, but I came up with an equation actually. Mom's car, now subtract mom, now add Bryce equals Bryce's car, right? No, you don't get it. I never had a car, okay? I like rented my mom's car for $0 and then she let me take it with me when I moved out, but I never had a car. I never had a car. I've noticed this thing that Bryce Hall does where he'll try to act like he's a rags to riches story, but in his point of view, rags is just being not that wealthy as a teenager, which is normal. It's like he wants your sympathy, but he also really wants to flex on you. But I mean, the sympathy play is working. I mean, look at her face right now. She's in complete awe of the Bryce Hall. It's working.
You said that you at one point went completely broke. When was this, and how do you feel like that moment defined how you sort of handle finances?
In 2018, when I say completely broke, I meant like $5,000 to my name. So that was like an eye opener. I was like, holy shit, I don't make money. I'm gonna have to move back and go to college.
He does it again, completely broke. But I also had $5,000 in my bank account, which for a 19-year-old is like pretty normal. He even said that going back home and going to college was an option. So why does he like to act like he just got out of the ghetto? Yeah, if I didn't make this whole social media thing work, I was gonna have to go back home to Compton. No money in my bank account except $5,000. No car to drive except my mom's Jeep Cherokee that is also my car now. I would have been completely broke.
Do you feel like that sort of like lit the fire underneath you to really focus on all these different business moves?
Yeah, I actually saw like some studies on athletes. I saw like it was something around 70-something% of all athletes after 5 years go completely broke. And in my opinion, this is only my opinion, don't take my word on it, but I think social media influencers, everyone in this space, we're just athletes.
Yeah, just like athletes. Totally a one-to-one comparison there. Not like athletes have injuries or literally can't play once they reach a certain age. No, you're right. Same exact thing. Actually, I think I heard of a few cases of TikTokers getting herniated discs and concussions that actually stifled their entire career. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of football.
Walk me through the structure of this podcast. Like if I tune in, what am I gonna learn? Are there different segments? Are you gonna have other influencer guests?
First thing you would learn would probably be, I'm not as stupid as I look.
Bullshit, continue.
A second one is how much influencers and everyone in our space make money, like how much they actually genuinely make.
4, I'm not as stupid as I look.
It's almost like a classroom, like a college classroom, business 101 class.
Yeah, it's almost like college, that thing I didn't go to. It's almost like I don't really know what I'm talking about, actually.
It's almost exactly modeled like that, except we're talking about some real capital, like real money, like hundreds of millions, like tens of millions, like just real money. And we talk about like how we can turn that into that 10 million into 100 million.
Like so much fucking money. Like more money than you're making right now or will ever make in your life. I have so much money. Anyone else get the feeling he's just pretending to know business by saying big numbers? Imagine if Bryce Hall had like a real job at a bank and had to give a pitch to investors. What's up, fuckers? Thanks for coming. Of course. Right, yep. $10 million. What? Fine, $100 million. Kid, what are you talking about? Look, I never had a car. $10 million to $100 million. Take it or leave it. Please leave.
You said you're gonna reveal like how much these influencers like.
Oh yeah.
So what is that figure?
Well, most of the audience thinks we make over 10 mil or something like on a brand deal, but that's just not the case at all.
Yeah, most of my audience is fucking stupid. Did anyone besides an 8-year-old think that you made $10 million off of a brand deal? $10 million for a shout out? What? Do you even know how much you make for a brand deal?
So it's not upwards of, I mean, there's all these lists that come out.
Some of those were cap. yeah, like cap as in like those were lies. Some of those were lies, not accurate.
Oh, cap. Okay. I see what you're saying.
Do you want to start like a Playboy-esque empire?
Not even a Playboy, more like I would say Boutine. Playboy's a little graphic. Boutine.
What does that mean?
Boutine is like a bikini line.
Boutine? Is that like cap? Am I using that correctly?
Why do you think you're the person to design bikinis?
Because I'm the party animal.
Bryce, I don't know how you do it. I want to like you, but you just come off so unlikable.
Okay, how do you feel like the girls are gonna feel about that?
I feel like they'd love it.
Okay.
And they'd buy it, the bikinis.
Bikinis, girls love them. Bryce sell them. Bryce make money. Girls dumb. Bryce smart. Can you keep up with me, poor person?
Just because girls like bikinis?
Yeah, especially like girls be feeling themselves now. Same with dudes, but that's where I'm coming out with my shorts.
Girls be feeling themselves now? Same with dudes? What? No cap? I don't know what that means, Bryce. And that's on Boutine. Girls be feeling themselves now? And same with dudes. Bryce Hall. So obviously that's amazing advice to leave off on, but I also wanted to take a look at the actual podcast. So I watched the first episode of the podcast and I did want to go through it, but there's not too much to talk about. You see, Bryce scooped up a person with an actual finance background to co-host a show with him, Anthony Pompliano, Anthony Pompliano, who already has a finance podcast, so he just kind of takes lead, which isn't the worst idea, but it puts Bryce in this awkward spot where he doesn't have too much to say on his own podcast about finance. Like on their first episode with Mark Cuban, which I know, what the fuck, how did they get Mark Cuban? Shark Tank? Love it. Love your work. Dallas Mavericks? I honestly couldn't give a fuck. Sorry. But since Bryce has no real finance experience, I think he thinks he needs to show his worth, and he just does so by subtly bragging about how much money he has.
Because I just gotten into investing like 3 months ago. I've been making pretty good money for the average 21-year-old. I'm doing over $1 million a quarter on my apparel line. So a slight advantage that I have 30 million followers across all platforms added up together. So a lot of these TikTokers or even social media people in general, they make pretty good money if you're at the level that I'm at. Let's say lowest 2 mil, highest 10 mil, 15 mil.
Yeah, I make pretty okay money for your average 21-year-old. Nothing lower than $2 million. I'm not poor. It's fucking gross. Like, Brycey boy, just because you're subtly bragging doesn't mean that you're not still bragging. In fact, I'd rather you flex on us like a Jake Paul would instead of saying that what you have right now isn't crazy for a 21-year-old when you're dropping numbers in the millions.
Pomp, what else?
I think that's it. Any other questions you got?
You guys are being easy on me.
I kind of want to know a little bit about like one of your craziest spending parties.
Learning finance from the best, aren't we? You have Mark Cuban on your first podcast about finance and you ask him that? Make something of that. Why are you asking counterproductive questions about saving money? Welcome to the Bryce Hall podcast. Today we have Mark Cuban. Of course, his time is very valuable, so we're going to make sure we only ask him very important questions. So Mark, what's the most amount of money you've blown in one night? Be honest. I feel like the podcast is actually a pretty good idea, but I think it should have been pitched differently than I'm smarter than I look, because I think we all know that's not true. There is something cool about a podcast where we get to watch someone who has no finance experience actually learn about finance. We get to see that journey along the way. But say that, or else there's no point in watching you. I'd rather just watch Mr. Anthony Pompliano Beach do his podcast because it's the same exact thing. Now guys, I was gonna end the video there, but I think I stumbled upon quite the opportunity. Bryce Hall tweeted out, the podcast is number 20 worldwide right now. If we get to number 1, I'll be flying out a random person who is subbed to the podcast and rated it 5 stars to the Sway House to hang with me and the boys. Fuck yeah, I'm in. Let's do it. I'm trying to shotgun some brewskis with the broskies. Get me there. Bryce, fly me out, please. Dear Bryce Hollister, your podcast is very informative and helped me realize Mark Cuban is very cool. I also like that you have an interest in finance, yet like to party hard, like me, of course. I think this is a good way to relate to him. It would be so cool and fun for me to fly out to hang with you and the boys for a good fun time. Please consider me when choosing, because I have a YouTube channel and can vlog the whole thing at GunnarTV. P.S. Maybe don't watch my last video on you. Yeah, that should work. Save. Anyways, that's the video today, guys. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and also be sure to like and retweet that tweet at Bryce Hall so we can get me out to LA to shoot shotgun some brews with the guys, the old guys. Be a real good fun time with Mr. Bryce Hall Monitor. And with that all said, good day. It's not open. I just thought Bryce might find it cool.
Don't move too slow. Fine line between lazy and losing control. They say don't